Former DNC chair faces harsh reality as Bill Maher's guest reveals why Kamala lost in a landslide. Well, let's check this out.
So we fell short in the battleground states. But overall, I think the Democratic Party will make a comeback. It will be a good comeback. We don't have to wait till 2028.
But I'm not hearing sort of anything what you really did wrong. And Andrew, maybe you want to jump in on that one.
Well, the big issue, right?
Yeah.
Right.
That's Andrew Sullivan.
Was immigration. And
inflation, immigration.
Those two are very big issues. And you asked Vice President Harris,
right,
why did you let all these people in for the last 4 years? She did not have an answer. I still don't know the answer. They actually could, with an executive order, shut it down as they did earlier this year. So why did they not do it 3 years earlier? And I think people felt she did not respond to that in any way. She had no answer on inflation, and she also seemed to represent that whole woke zone that people are sick to death of. And I think those three.
Well,
yeah, they don't want to know. They don't want to admit. I mean, I think maybe the dirty secret is they were expecting the cheating to work, and it just was. People on the right kept saying, "You got to beat the cheat. Everybody's got to vote. You got to beat the cheat," and they did, because you saw there was some funny stuff going on. Some big jumps there, but they just weren't quite enough. Some big, huge vote dumps with big jumps, you know, like 80, 90, 95% for Kamala, but it wasn't enough to get over. So maybe in the back of their minds, they just think, well, we'll just cheat better next time. We don't have to change anything. And, I mean, if you know that you're not actually going to do anything that would reflect the popular will at all, and it's just purely... you're just purely fronts for a machine that's going to do what it wants, regardless. Then why? I mean, why would you even go? You're just assuming, well, the machine will do a better job next time. We'll just print more ballots. We'll do more vote harvesting, whatever. And we'll just beat it that way. Because it's not about winning the argument for them. It doesn't appear to be, does it? I mean, if it was, Kamala would have had an argument, right? She wouldn't have waited 2 months to, you know, copy and paste Joe Biden's policies onto her own campaign website. That seems crazy, right? No, I mean, if they thought that it was about winning the argument, they would have had an argument. They didn't. What would you do differently? I can't think of anything. It's almost like it didn't matter. The policies don't matter. What happened before doesn't matter. It just, what matters is, are they able to come up with enough ballots from somewhere to just win anyway? Makes you think. Makes you think. It's enough to make you think, because it is weird, right? Like people like this, their attitudes do strike you as weird if the game makes sense. Let's see. Rumbum says Trump has to do election reform or the states is fucked. Yeah, I think that's big on his priority list. Kirby says she gave Clinton the questions to be asked during a debate. Yeah, the debate with Bernie, the big debate with Bernie. That's right. She did. And she's still around, and I mean, that should be career ending. But that's a huge scandal. That was a CNN debate. She gave Hillary the questions. That should just end your career. That shows you how corrupt it all is, right? JJ Nevada says, POS commie, POS commie. POTUS George Kirby says, I bet wherever Kamala is right now, she is blackout drunk. I'll bet you. Let's get some extra applause. Look, France had an election this year. They called it. They held it within 2 weeks. They had everything counted that night. There were more people in France than in any state in the United States. There's 70, 80 million people in France. It's all paper ballots, and everybody has to show ID, and they had it all done that night. There's absolutely no reason that can't be done anywhere, especially in a state that has 4 or 5 million people, or 6 or 7 million people, something like that, or 2 million people. There's absolutely no reason they can't do it. The reason it's not happening and things aren't being completely finished counting that night, there is a reason that's happening. And it's not because it's not because they can't do it. They're not doing it for a reason. And I will leave it up to you to decide what that reason might be. Anyway, that's all I'm going to say about that. Please like, share, and subscribe. Subscribing really helps me out. I thank you for that. I will see you next time.